Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last video, we went ahead and made Leon's arm, and in this one we're going to make his hand. So, let's dive right in. Let's start off with a cube, and I'm going to position it about where the hand is. Let's go to the front view, and I'll center this up. Let's go to our poly cube, grab my width, and then I will just middle mouse drag that out. Let's get the height. I'll middle mouse drag that. That looks pretty good. And then from the top, let's go ahead and center this about there. And then for the depth, we'll middle mouse drag that. I'm gonna go a little bit wider, like that. Yeah. And actually, we made a mistake on the forearm for here. We made this kind of flat, going this way, but we need it to be flat going this way. So I'll fix that while I'm here. So vertex, I'll grab these, and I'll just scale that back outward, and I will scale it down, but I want to put a cut here. So multi-cut tool, I'll just put a slice here, go into face selection, select this face, double click to get the whole ring, scale, and we'll scale down. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay, back to the hand. So on the hand, I'm going to go over to my polycube, and I want to do some slices for the fingers. So I'm going to go down to the depth option, and then middle mouse, and then drag. We need 3 slices so that we can create 4 slots. Okay, and let's go ahead and put a cut around the middle of the hand. So I'll go over to the width, and then we'll add a slice by middle mouse dragging. That looks pretty good. Let's go to face selection. Go ahead and grab these, and then I will scale this out to square these off, like that. All right, and then we're going to extrude. I'll hit the extrude button here, and I will pull out the blue arrow. Now to get the fingers to separate, we're going to go to keep faces together and then click to make it turn off. And then on the extrude widget, hit the little blue box, and then come over to the middle box and then drag. And now we have some fingertips. Scale it in. And I can hit W and just kind of pull these out. Let's go to our top view. Okay. I'm going to grab vertex selection. Let's get these middle ones. And I will scale kind of in the middle. There we go. Grab those tips, middle scale. Okay. Now for the fingers, fingers have different lengths. So like for this hand, my index, middle, ring finger, pinky. My ring and my middle are very close to each other. My pinky and my index are almost the same length. But on this hand, you can see that they're a little bit different. So every hand is different. I'm going to model this based on my hand. You can model it based on your hand, whichever. So I know that my index finger is going to be shorter than my middle finger. My ring finger is going to be a little bit shorter but taller than my index finger. My pinky is going to be shorter than my ring finger. And then the pinky and ring fingers are skinnier than the middle and index fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the vertices around these guys, and then I will use my middle scale to shrink those just a bit. And I'll just move them back. My index finger is a little bit skinnier than the middle finger, so I'll go ahead and just grab that. And middle scale to shrink it and then move the position. That finger sits below on the knuckle, lower than my middle finger, and then my ring finger sits below this one, and the pinky sits just below that. So this one is going to be sitting below, get the knuckle here, that'll be sitting below the middle. This one kind of sits below as well, and then this sits lower. So kind of like that, okay? And now we can go ahead and start adding some slices in for the segments of the fingers. Okay, you get this, and I'll just scale. So, get my multi-cut tool. I'm gonna cut across the fingers, like so. And again, just check where your knuckles lie. So this knuckle is below my middle knuckle. This one's below the middle, and it kind of makes a little triangle shape, right? So I'm going to pull this one forward, and it's actually easier if I go to edge selection, and I can just double click the line. When I do that, it grabs the whole line. Do you see that? It grabs the whole thing. And I can use that to move the knuckle forward. So there's the first knuckle. I'll double click this one, move it up. I'll double click that one, move that one up, and this one looks like it's in about the right spot. So I'll go, and I've got that. Okay. Get my multi-cut tool. I'll do the same thing for these knuckles here. So I'll middle mouse and then cut, and I'll follow the same pattern. So this is going to be forward. That's going to be ahead of that. This one is a little bit further back, and like that. Yeah. Not too bad. If I go to my perspective view, this is what we're going to see. Okay. Now we need to add a slice in here for the knuckles. So I'm going to go to my multi-cut tool, and I will hold Control and then just slide this in and make a cut. I'll hit Q to get rid of my tool and then go to face selection. Let's grab the tops of these, and I'll hit extrude. I'm going to pull this up a little bit, but I also want to separate these. So I'll go to keep faces together. I'll turn that off. I'll get the scale icon, and then I'll come down and drag the middle scale. And now I have some knuckle shapes. It's pretty good. If I were to preview this in smooth preview by hitting 3, you'll see this is kind of what we get. Starting to look like a hand. We got a big sausage middle finger, but other than that, looks okay. Let's go ahead and add on the thumb. So for the thumb, we'll just add it to this corner. I'll go to face selection. I'll grab this side, extrude, pull that out, hit the scale, and grab the middle scale, pull that in. There it is. And then we're going to pull that out twice. So your thumb is, the bone is kind of embedded in the hand here, but then it extends 2 sections out, right? Your fingers extends 3 sections out. 1, 2, 3, right? Thumb only goes 2 sections out. So this is the part we just made, and then we go out 1 more, 2 more. So I'll go out, I'll hit extrude, here's 1 more. And I can just make that a little bit smaller, and then hit it again, grab this one, scale it, make it smaller. And there's our thumb. I'll go to the top view. Let's reshape some of this. Let's go into vertex selection. I'll grab these. Let's move this out some. Adjust these knuckles a little bit. And then I'll change the angle of the thumb because your thumb sits, it's not really going out straight, it's going to be kind of bent. So I'm going to hit the rotation tool, and then I'll bend this a little bit, and then I will move it forward. Kind of like that. Let's grab these, and these, I'll just move it in. Yeah. It's pretty good. Next up, I'm going to make the fingertips. So the place where your nail goes, we're going to make that. Go into face selection. I'll grab the top of each digit. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one. We'll hit extrude. We'll pull the blue arrow up a little bit, and then I'll hit the little blue square. Come down and grab the blue square in the center, and then drag that back some. There we go. Let's go ahead and narrow our fingers a bit. I'm going to grab the fingertips. So vertex selection, I'll grab all these. Shift grab these guys and these guys. I'm just going to scale these down. So down. Make them kind of pointy. I'll do the same thing for the back of the knuckle. So go ahead, just go down a little bit more. So these. And then these. And then those. Scale it down, make it more of an angle. I'll get the middle knuckles. And just adjust the scaling a little bit, trying to keep this triangular shape. Check the thumb. I think that's good. Okay, now for the finger, the tip of the nails. If you want to give Leon some nails, he can. We'll go into edge selection. I'll grab this edge, this one, and that one. Get my move tool, and I will just move these out toward the edge. If I go into my front view, I can kind of see that better. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be close enough. I'll do the same thing on the thumb. I'll get this guy. Now you can see on the thumb, the widget is at an angle. That's because this is at world orientation, but our thumb is slanted. You can see this is the world orient here. To fix this, hold down the W key, and then hold left click. And we can change our selection mode to component. And now you can see that this is at an angle that is better suited for that. So I'm going to pull that forward. Okay. Now to go up, you can see I have a problem with the up direction, so I'll go ahead and change that back to world. Hold W, hold left click, grab world, and I'll just pull that up a little bit to make it taller. Yeah. I'll check the thickness of these nails, grab each of these, and just move them up a little bit. Okay. And now we can grab the faces of those nails. So face selection, I'll grab this one. I'll hit Q so I can get a pointer, and I'll grab that one, that one, that one, and that one. Remember, you have to hold Shift to do multi-select. So I've got all those selected. Hit Extrude. Okay. And let's see how those are going to go. If I pull out the blue arrow, we should get pretty consistent results all the way around. If yours are at an angle, that means the face that you created for your fingernail is tilted. Okay, so go back and make sure it's straight, and you shouldn't have an issue there. So Leon should have just a little bit of a fingernail. Just a little bit. That's good enough. Let's go back into object selection, and let's preview this by hitting 3. So Leon's got some long fingernails. Maybe we'll dial that back. So inside this view, I'll select these faces here, and I'll just move it back from here. Hold down W, hold left click, we'll get component, so I can get an angle that works. I think that's better. Get these. So object mode, I'll click off to see what it looks like. Not too bad. That middle finger is still kind of a sausage, but it's all right. Okay, so there's the hand. We're going to attach the hand to the wrist. Let's go back into object selection. I'll press 1 to make this go back to rough. And I need to remove these back faces. So face, I'll grab these back ones, hit delete. Okay. Let's go select the hand, make sure we're in object mode, get the wrist, and then use the combine tool. So now we can sew the wrist to the hand. So I'll get the sewing tool. And let's see, this corner's good. I'll grab this. So this is a flat edge, and this is a flat edge. That's what I'm looking for. You can also do it based on the center. So here's center, and there's center. Whichever one works for you, as long as you can identify which corner you're working with. So I'm going to go from this flat edge to this flat edge. So corner to corner. Corner to corner, we have a flat edge. And now I can sew the rest. So back here. And again, if you make a mistake, you can always Control Z. Just check your work. That looks pretty good. Okay. So I want to do a little bit of cleanup on the arm. I'm going to add an extra cut on the wrist here. So multi-cut. I'll hold down Control and do a slice on the wrist. And I'll do one slice behind the wrist. This is going to help it bend when we get to animating it. Also going to go over on the forearm. I think I'm going to add a cut right below that ring so we get more definition there. That looks pretty good there. Let's go into edge selection. I'm going to grab this edge. I'll double click it. It's going to go all the way around the arm like that. I want to widen this edge so it's a better transition. So scale. I'll grab the middle scale and just scale out. That's better. And then the arm itself should be a little flatter. So like on this, I want to widen these. I'll go into a top view. Let's jump over to here. Go into vertex selection. I'll grab through the arm here. Get through that bicep. Get these. Get my scale tool, and I'll just see if I can widen just a little bit. Not bad. I'll go ahead and just shrink it down some. That looks a little bit better. Okay. And there is Leon's arm. Of course, you can go ahead and mirror it to get the other hand. We're going to do that later, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. Let's make sure we save our work. I'll go up to File, Save As. And this is going to be Leon 5. In the next one, we will start working on Leon's face. So stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thank you for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed that video you just watched, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Or if you want to support the channel, check me out on Patreon or pick up one of my books, Life and Times of Dinah Marton or The Guardian's Path of Ascension. Speaking of which, I'm converting The Guardians into a graphic novel / comic book series. Here is a sneak peek. My wonderful artist, Patrick, is doing a great job. I'm excited. I want to push this out as soon as possible. So definitely keep your ears and eyes open for that. I'll be making announcements as we get closer, and I'll post some shots of that as we go. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can check me out on Twitter. I guess now it's X. Who does that? It's BruceRF1 at Twitter, or at whatever the new thing for Twitter is. Anyway, hopefully see you there, and I'll see you guys next time.